Right, okay, Lamai. Ipna, Sanuli, good afternoon. Can you hear me, Lamai? Sanuli,
Good
Ipna,
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. Ipna,
Good afternoon.
okay, right. Alana is absent, right? Right. Uh, this is the last part of unit number 2. Last unit of unit number 2. Lesson is elasticity. Elasticity. Okay, right. 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 Lamai, this lesson is a common lesson for all subjects, not in economics. It can be seen in chemistry, physics. Okay, Lamai. If there are two variables which are interconnected, related, functionally related, we can apply this lesson. What is the lesson, Lamai? Elasticity. Okay, we can apply this lesson any place where we can recognize functional relationship. There are two variables and two variables are functionally related, right? Example, these two variables are very common now, Lamai. Price and quantity demanded. Okay, is there any relationship between these two variables? Yes or no? Yes. When price increases, suddenly what happens to quantity demand, Lamai? Decreases. According to law of demand, quantity demand falls. Right? Dipna, when price falls of a certain product, what happens to quantity demand, Lamai?
Grace.
Increase. Very good. Then you can see these two variables are functionally related. What are the variables here? Price of the product and quantity demanded. These two variables are functionally related. So we can apply this lesson. What is a lesson, Lamai? Elasticity. Elasticity. Remember, this lesson can be applied for any situation where we can recognize two variables which are functionally related. Okay. Another example, we can say consumer income. Why? Consumer income and quantity demand, the number of units that consumers are willing and able to buy. Is there any relationship between these two variables? Yes or no? Yes, right? When buyers' income increases, what happens to demand? If buyers have more income, increase, but not all, in all situations, right? There are some exceptional points where when buyers' income increases, quantity demand decreases. Suddenly, can you remember the type of product? When buyers' income rises, demand falls.
Inferior goods?
What is that product? Category of product?
Inferior?
Inferior product. Very good. Yes. Right. Anyway, when buyer's income rises, quantity demand also increases. But I need to say there is the relationship between these two variables, right? Y and quantity demand. So these are variables which are functionally related. So we can apply this lesson. What is the lesson, Raman? Remember, this elasticity basically depends on calculations. What? Calculation. Elasticity means we measure something, Lama. We measure the responsiveness. The responsiveness. of a dependent variable to a change in independent variable. Right? In mathematics, you might have learned dependent and independent variable. Here, remember, elasticity measures something. What does it measure, Lamai? The responsiveness of dependent variable to change dependent variable. So remember, the first point is to have dependent and independent variable. That's why I told you. If you can recognize independent and dependent variable anywhere, we can apply this lesson. What is the lesson, Laman? You get the point? Try to understand base of this lesson, Lamai. Then you can derive your own equations, right? Without memorizing. So the basic point is so important. This if you don't know the basic, you don't catch the basis, Lamai, the entire lesson is going to be complicated. You get the point? Okay. Elasticity. How to remove this one, Lamai? How to go to next page?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Tanvi, now can you hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. Okay. Elasticity mean, Lama, it measures something, right? It measures. Can you do you have printed tubes, Lama? Sanuli, Dipna?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Dipna?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. That measures, highlight the word measures mean, Lama. It's type of mathematical calculation. Elasticity mean calculation, right? Measures what? What does it measure? Dipna, what does it measure? It measures the proportionate sensitivity or responsiveness. Lamai, proportionate sensitivity mean, remember, here we measure the percentage change. What change? Percentage change. Proportionate or responsiveness mean percentage change. Elasticity is always focusing on percentage change. What change? Percentage change. Okay, there are two changes in mathematics. First one is absolute change. Second one is percentage change. In elasticity lesson, Lamai, what change should we need to consider, Lamai? proportionate change or percentage change, right? Okay, or responsiveness of which variable am I? Dependent variable to change in what variable? Independent variable. When said variables are highlighted, am I functionally related? There must be a relationship between variables that we consider, Lamai. Example, price and quantity demanded. They are functionally related. There's a relationship. Did you get the point, Lamai? Okay. Then price and quantity supplied. They are functionally related. There's a relationship between price and quantity supplied. You get the point, Lamai? Yes. Uh, then remember, Lamai, here we need to consider we change. Remember that one, right? We change percentage change, Lamai, right? We change percentage change. Percentage change of dependent variable and independent. Clear? Right. I'll repeat. Elasticity is an indicator that measures. Measures mean, Lamai, it's totally mathematical part, Lamai, right? The proportionate change means percentage change. Remember the word percentage change. Percentage change of dependent variable to a change in independent variable. Okay, Dalamai. Example, tell me. Right, okay, let's move on. The universal formula. Universal formula means, it's common to everything, all subjects. That's I told you. Universal formula. Remember the word. The universal formula to calculate elasticity. Write down the uh, formula to calculate elasticity. Am I write down elasticity equals percentage change in independent variable. Percentage change in independent variable. Independent variable divided by percentage change in sorry, Lama, I'm sorry. This should be dependent. I'm sorry, Lama, this should be dependent. I'm sorry. Percentage change in dependent variable. Percentage change in dependent variable. Dependent variable divided by percentage change in independent variable. Percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in. This is common equation for calculating elasticity. That's why I told you, Lamai. Whatever elasticity calculated, remember, we change only.
Sorry, sir.
Percentage change, Lamai. Change, Dipna, remember, I emphasize this word. All right, I stress this word, but it's a word, Lamai.
Percentage change.
Percentage change. Not just change, percentage change. Elasticity mean percentage. Right. How to remove this one, Lamai? Suddenly, are you okay, Lamai? Because the original equation is okay. Right. Next one. Basic application. These are not economics, Lamai. These are not economics. I haven't just come to the elasticity lesson. Economics part. No, no, no. This basic mathematics now. Just introduction. The lesson of elasticity. Right. Basic application. Can you read it, Lamai? Basic application. There are two values given. What are the two values, Lamai? First one, x column. Second one is y column. Right. Here you can see, Lamai. Remember, these x and y variables are functionally related. What does it mean, Lamai? There is a relationship between x and y. Then you can see, Lamai, when x variable rises, y variable also rises. What is the relationship between these variables, Lamai? Positive or negative? Itna? Sanuli? Positive or negative, Lamai? Is there? Yeah,
Positive.
there's a relationship between these two variables. What is the relationship between these two variables?
Positive. Positive.
Positive. Yes, positive. Very good. Why? How do you say that there's a positive relationship between these? Yeah, here x variable increases from 200 to 240. Y variable also increases. When y rises, x rises, y also rises. These relationships are called direct or positive relationships. What relationships? Positive relationships. Right. Now, and read the point, Lama. Understanding the functional relationship. As per this function, a variable x is the independent variable, Lama. Because x changes first. It change first, then y changes, Lama. Right? Y is changed by change in x. You get the point? This is called dependent variable. This is called independent variable. You get the point, Naman? Then, and variable y is the dependent variable because exchanges first, then causing a change in y. Clear or not? Right. Now I am going to calculate elasticity between these two variables. Get the point? Elasticity between these two variables. What is the equation that you have written, Laman? Sanuli, what is your basic equation for elasticity? Dependent variable. Then here you have to calculate percentage change in dependent variable and percentage change in independent variable. So how to calculate percentage change? Right. Give me 1 minute. Wait. Wait, Laman. Right. Look at the board, Laman. I want to calculate percentage change in y. Percentage change. Not clear. Right? Two. Look at the board, Laman. I want to calculate percentage change in variable y. What should I do? Percentage change in variable y. Dipna, what should I do, Lamai? I want to calculate percentage change in y. Yes, you know that the value of y has increased from 1200 to 1920. It's correct. So that this change is called absolute change. How much change here? 1000 1920 minus 1200. This is called Lamai absolute change. What change? Absolute. How much the value, Lamai? 720. This 720 is called absolute. This is called delta y. Delta y equals how much the value, Lamai? 20. This change is called absolute change. But remember, Lamai, not the absolute change. We need to consider percentage. So the basic requirement is to calculate. My next question, Lamai, how to calculate percentage for variable y? Lamai, take the difference, absolute change. How much is change, Lamai? 1920 minus 1200. Then you can calculate the change, Lamai. How much is that change? 720. 720 divided by original value. There are two values, Lamai. 1200, 1920. Take the original value. How much is the original value? 1200. Then 720 divided by 1200. If you want to calculate, convert this change into percentage change, Lama, you have to multiply by. Is it clear, Sanuli?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Dipna, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
And remember, I'm talking about percentage change. Why it is much important, Lama? Elasticity means percentage. Right. Can you tell me the percentage change, Lamai? 60%. What does it mean, Lamai? Variable y has changed or increased by 60. You get the point? Then, Lamai, we have to calculate percentage change for variable y. Sorry, x. How to calculate percentage change for variable x, Lamai? Same thing, Lamai. Take the change divided by original value. Yes. Take the change, Lamai. Here, absolute change is 40. How did I calculate 40, Lamai? 240 minus 200. Take the change divided by original value. How much the original value, Lamai? Into 100. Can you tell me the percentage change, Lamai? 20. Now, my basic requirement is okay. What is a basic requirement? Before we calculate P, whatever elasticity, Lamai, remember the basic requirement is to calculate. Sanuli, Ipna, okay, the Lamai. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
okay, right. Then, Lamai, can you remember? I want you to calculate elasticity for variable y or between these x and y. Can you remember the basic equation for elasticity, Lamai? Basic equation for elasticity. Yes, percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in dependent variable. Then you can calculate an elasticity for these variables. Uh, then how to calculate, Lamai? Huh? Yeah, elasticity between x and y. We can say, Lamai, elasticity. Don't worry about these symbols, Lamai. Elasticity for x and y. Because my variables, what are the variables, Lamai? X and y equals percentage change in, here dependent variable is y. So delta y divided by percentage change in independent variable. Independent variable is x, y. So percentage change in x. Huh? Yeah, 3. Then my delta y, percentage change in y. How much? 60% divided by 20%. And answer is how much, Lamai? This is called the elasticity value between these two variables, x and y. I'll explain. Right? Just remember the answer is 3. Can you read this point, Lamai? If the exy means elasticity between x and y, coefficient is 3. This is a way of getting the answer. Then essentially it means, Lamai, when x changes by certain percentage, then y tends to change 3 times. Mean, Lamai, when x variable changes by 10%, y variable tends to change by 3 times means 30%. You get the point? Any doubt, Sanuli? Dipna?
No doubt, sir.
No. Dipna?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Can you write this down, Lamai? Percentage change for X, percentage change for Y, then calculate the elasticity for X and Y. And show the answer, Lamai. 3. Here, I want you to learn, Lamai. The main point is calculating percentage change because elasticity is all about percentage. Calculate percentage change for both X and Y based on given information. Then the elasticity original or universal formula for elasticity is percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in independent variable. According to this question, Lamai, y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable. If you have recognized, if you have understood dependent variable and independent variable properly, you can calculate last value for variable x and y.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Done. Okay, Dipna?
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Andalamai. Right. Right. Look at the word, Lamai. This is the base of elasticity lesson in economics. I'm going to now you know the basic concept for elasticity. Right? How to calculate elasticity. Percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in independent variable. Now look at the board, Lamai. Right. In economics, when it comes to economics, Lamai, in this lesson, mainly we calculate elasticity for demand and supply. Demand and elasticity for demand and Lamai, listen me carefully, very carefully. Suddenly, can you remember demand function, Lamai? QD depends on demand determinants, right? PX. PX mean, Sanuli?
Price of the product.
Price of the concern. Nathan, what else, Lamai? Second one is PY. PY means price of other product. Other products means substitute goods and complementary goods. Then Lamai, what else? Dipna? One more. Dipna, are you there? Huh? Dipna, are you there? No?
Sorry, sir.
Ah, okay. Can you tell me one more demand determinants, Lamai? Yes. Your friends have said two, right? PY, what
Consume
else?
income.
Yes. Buyer's income. Y, what else, Lamai? Number of
Fu-
sellers, sorry, consumers, future price expectation, consumer preference. These are the factors affecting demand of a product. Lamai, here, QD is a dependent variable. Why? QD is changed by determinants. Example, Lamai, when price of the product changes, what happens to changes? When number of buyers change, what happens to QD? QD does not have a backbone, Lamai. Okay, QD is changed by other factors mean factors affecting demand. Example, your home, in your family, are you still dependent or independent? Dependent, yes. Your behavior is changed by parents, especially parents, age. Yeah, still, I don't know, in your family, you are dependent or independent, but normally, below age 18 mean you are still dependent. Okay, the lamai. Your behavior is changed by someone, especially parents, lamai. You have to depend on parents. Here, quantity demand is changed by other factors. Other factors mean demand determinants, lamai, this side. So, dependent variable is, sorry, here dependent variable is, what the dependent variable, lamai? QD. Yeah, change, lamai. Right. So, QD is a dependent variable. Dependent variable. What about these? These are independent variable. Independent variable. Listen carefully, lamai. In economics, lamai, we calculate an elasticity, type of elasticity for these two variables. What are the two variables? Price of the concerned good and quantity demand. Right? Price of the concerned good and quantity demand, because these two are functionally related. There's a relationship between these two variables. Know the relationship. When price rises, quantity demand falls. So these two variables are functionally related. So we can calculate an elasticity for these two variables. Okay, the lamai. Right, listen. Right, but then this is called price elasticity of demand. What? Price elasticity of demand mean it measures the relationship, or it measures the responsiveness of quantity demand to change what? Price of the product. Here we assume all other factors remain constant. This concept, our next topic, Lamai. Our next topic is price elasticity of demand, PED. What does it talk about, Lamai? The relationship between price of the product and, did you get the point, Lamai? Here, what is dependent, what is independent? Dipna? We're talking about these two. What is dependent, what is independent? Dependent, yes. Quantity demand is dependent. Quantity demand is dependent. So this is dependent variable. QD is dependent variable. Price is independent variable. Okay, Nalaman. Now, can you make your own equation for price elasticity of demand? What is your original equation for elasticity? Universal formula. Percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in dependent variable. Then make your own equation. ED equals percentage change in dependent. What is dependent variable here? Quantity demand. Then PD equals percentage change in quantity demand over percentage change in independent variable. What is independent variable now? Price. And percentage change in, you get the point. That's why I told you. If you know the basic point, Lamai, you can derive or you can make equations for other points, Lamai, other types of elasticity. You get the point? Then second, this is over. Then Lama, in your syllabus, we calculate another elasticity for these two variables. Price of the product, right? Right. We calculate elasticity for price, quantity demand, and buyer's income. What? Quantity demand and buyer's income. Look at the board. We calculate separate elasticity for quantity demand and buyer's income level. What does it mean? What does it measure? It measures the responsiveness of quantity demand to change what? Buyer's income level. Buyers, I'm talking about quantity demand and third factor. Here, this is called, here what is dependent, what is independent? Very good. Quantity demand is a dependent variable. Independent variable is buyer's income. Why mean buyer's income? Variable. So that this is called YED. YED. YED mean Lamai? Income elasticity of demand. What? What does it measure? The responsiveness or the responsiveness of quantity demand to change what? Buyer's income, not the price of product, not price of anything. Talking about buyer's income. Get the point? This is called YED or income elasticity. Now I want you to make an equation for income elasticity. What is the basic equation? Percentage change in dependent variable divided by percentage change in dependent variable. What is dependent variable? Quantity demand. Independent variable, buyer's income. Then YED equals my equation. Yes. Percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in buyer's income. This change, change delta buyer's. Saduli, Dipna. Saduli, Dipna, are you okay, Lamai?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
Okay. Third one. Then Lamai, we calculate another elasticity category for quantity demand and second one. What is second one, Lamai? PY mean prices of other products, Lamai. Prices of other products means substitute goods and price of complementary. You get the point? Look at the board. We calculate separate elasticity for PY and what is third category, Lamai? Sorry, may other factor PY and for price of related other products and quantity. You get the point? Here, what is dependent, what is independent? Quantity demand is dependent variable. Price is, so that this elasticity category is called XCD. What? XCD means cross price elasticity. What? Cross price elasticity. Ipna, can you make your own equation for cross price elasticity? Lamai. Here, Lamai, it is called PY. PY means prices of other products. If now xy xed equals percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in py, prices of the product. Right? You have a separate lesson for these parts now. Our next lesson, the first one is price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, cross price elasticity. Now, plus three factors, okay, Lamai. We have made separate elasticities for plus three. Price of the product, what else? Income and prices of other products. What about these, Lamai? Few price expectation, other factors. Yeah, they are functionally related, Lamai. Example, there is a relationship between quantity demand and future price expectation. Quantity demand is changed by future price expectation. They are functionally related, but we don't calculate separate elasticity. Why? Can you tell me the reason, Lamai? Remember,
Is
Lamai,
unmeasurable.
elasticity measures something, right? These values must be, yes, Lamai. Did you get the point? We should be able to calculate these changes numerically, mathematically. Can we calculate percentage change for future price expectation? No, Lamai. Can we calculate percentage change for change in buyers preferences? So, Lamai, in economics, remember, in demand category, we calculate mainly three types of elasticity. How many types? Three. What are the three types of elasticity? First one, price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and cross price elasticity. We can calculate elasticity for other parts as well, but they are not, cannot be numerically calculated, Lamai. You get the point? So we don't calculate elasticity touch points, only there are three. When it comes to supply, Lamai, in your level, we calculate only one category, that is called price elasticity of supply, Lamai. Yes, it measures the responsiveness of quantity supplied to change price of the product. This is called PES, Lamai. Then how to calculate here? What is dependent? What is independent, Lamai? QS is dependent variable. Dependent variable. Price is independent. So we can make here we can make separate equation for PES, Lamai. PES equals percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price of. There are three categories in demand side, but in supply side only one category. Get the point, Lamai? Can you write this down, Lamai? Can you write this? Oh. Use page number 4. Page number 4. This part. Page number 4. There's separate box, Lamai. Write this down. Actually, this is a summary of the lesson, Lamai. The summary of the lesson. Lamai මොකක් හරි අවුලක් තියෙනවා නම් wait, Lamai. Small question. In demand side, there are so many factors affecting demand of a product. There are so many independent variables affecting quantity demand. But we calculate three types of elasticities or three main concepts. Why don't we calculate elasticity for other category, other factors? What is the reason? Can't. Why? And also, these values cannot be calculated. Cannot be calculated numerically. Percentage change cannot be calculated. You get the point? That is the point. This is a supply function, right? Quantity supplied depends on first one, price of the product, second one, price of related products, technology, cost of inputs. There are some factors, but in supply side, we consider or we calculate an elasticity for only variable. Calculate rate elasticity by connecting only quantity supplied and you have to calculate these how many parts? Four parts. Three parts in demand side, one side part in supply side, altogether four. The summary. So that if you want, write this down. This PED means price elasticity demand. YED mean income elasticity demand. XED mean cross mean two products. Cross mean between two products. Third one is cross price elasticity. Cross price elasticity.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Anuli, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ipna?
Done.
Shall we move on, Lamai? Sanuli, Ipna?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Done.
Okay. This is percentage change. X percent. Remember, always it must be percentage. Last digit. Right. Right, next page number 4, our press lesson Lama. We're going to start this part of elasticity that's called price elasticity of demand. Now you know how you have basic idea. You know how to calculate price elasticity of demand. You know what the relationship, right? It's talking about price, the relationship, price of the product and the Lama. Right, first category is price elasticity of demand. Right. Okay, Lamai. Price elasticity of price elasticity of put a star. Now you know, Lamai, what is mean by price elasticity of demand. You can make your own equation, Lamai. And also definition. Price elasticity of demand mean it measures the responsiveness of depend. What is dependent variable here? Quantity demand to change price of product concern. Put a star mark and write down, Lamai. Price elasticity of demand. This is called PED. Called PED. Right? E E D. Price elasticity. Write down, Lamai. It measures 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 the responsiveness the responsiveness responsiveness of quantity demanded. I'll give the quantity demanded to a change a change in independent variable here. We have a now we have a specified well established independent variable. What is independent variable? Price of the to a change in price of the concerned good. Price of the concerned good. Price of the concerned good. In PX Lama. Price of the concerned good. Abbreviation is Lama. Okay, the Lama. Next. While remember don't forget this part. While other factors affecting while other factors affecting other factors mean all other factors except price of the product. Other factors affecting demand remain constant. Remain similar. Right. Here responsiveness mean percentage change. Remember point percentage. Okay. Next point, Lamai. It says speed is estimated by dividing. Basic point. What is a basic point? Dividing what? Percentage change in quantity demanded. Because percentage change in quantity demand is a dependent variable of a given product by the percentage change in price of the product mean. PED coefficient, write it. Okay, write down the formula. Now you know the formula. Write down PED equals PD equals write down the equation in detail one lama equals write down percentage change in percentage quantity demanded divided by percent independent price of the product price of the concern. This is a short equation, Lama. Remember this you can use for papers and exam. No, this is a very simple one, short one. PD equals Lama percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in. Okay, Lama. Anuli, Deepna.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Next point, Lamai. Can you complete example number 1 and very simple. Example number 1. If the price of an ice cream cone is increased by 20%, then you are given percentage changes. No need to calculate percentage changes. You have been given percentage changes. And substitute given percentage changes. Cones which consumers are willing and able to buy by 50%. Calculate the PED one. Price elasticity. Write down my price elasticity equals P equals percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage price. Here my price increases by 20%. Percentage change in X is 20%. When price increases by 20%, quantity demand falls by 50% lamai. How much value lamai? Kitna? Kitna? 50% divided by 20%.
Minus 25%.
Yeah.
Sir.
Take time. Look at the board, Lama. Yeah, 2.5. Sanuli, Deepna, look at the board. 2.5. Remember, is it positive? Remember, Lama, here percentage cancel out. Okay, Lama. Elasticity value, I mean, does not have percentage or rupee value. No, it's just a number. But positive and negative sign so important. Here, is it positive or negative, Lama? Negative. Why? When price increases, what happens to quantity demand? Decreases. So remember, my PD value is always positive or negative? Negative. Positive, negative. When one way rises, this is denominator, Lama, can you remember? Right? And numerator. Okay? When one increases while other falls, Lama, it is the final sign should be minus. Here, Lama. So remember, PD value, this is called coefficient of PD. What? Coefficient. 2 point, this value is called coefficient, Lamai. Coefficient of no percentage cancel la. Only the value, but sign is so important. Here the Lamai. Any doubt, Dipna, Tanuli?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. Second one. Could I read this point? Read this one. PD tends to be negative. Remember, PD value tends to be negative. Coefficient means this value, Lama. Don't worry. Coefficient means this value, the value that you have calculated. Right? 2.5 is called coefficient. Indicating law of demand. Law of demand means when price rises, demand falls. And tend to range from 0 to infinite. Lama, this PED value, it falls between 0 to infinite. Lama, I'll explain. Don't worry about that. Right. Second one, you can do example number 2. Example number 3. Minus or plus? Plus. ED equals delta QD divided percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. Lama. Now what happens? Price of a water bottle falls minus 10%. Minus 10%. What happens to quantity demand? Increases, Lama. 30%. Then plus sign over minus sign. What is the answer? Plus or minus? Minus minus. Minus 3. Okay, Lama. ED value is always minus, remember. Right? Except situations. There are 3 situations in economics, Lama. Right. Except those 3 points, all other situations minus because of negative relationship between when one increases, other falls. You get the point, right? Sanuli, Dipna.
Done, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. There's another important point, Lamai. Remember, economics, Lamai. Read this point, Lamai. So important. Generally, read it, Lamai. Generally, economists find it convenient to omit the minus or negative sign in price elasticity of demand because it is easy to deal in positive values. Lamai, if you calculate PED value, answer tends to be minus. No any doubt. Example, a minus 3, minus 2.5, value is minus. But in decision making process, we forget the minus sign. Right? When making decisions, Lamai, we make decisions based on absolute value. Absolute value means without minus and plus. Just value. Did you get the point? PED value, according to mathematics, PED value tends to be minus. It's correct, 100% perfect, no issue. But in economics, in decision making, Lamai, what do? We forget the minus sign. We just consider the value that you have calculated, the coefficient value itself. You get the point, Lamai? Yes. Any doubt, Lamai? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay. Right. Lamai, any question up to now? No, no question. Right. Next one, Lamai. Alternative methods of calculating. Take a small break, Lamai. Right. Okay, Lamai. Take a 5 minutes break. Sanuli, Dipna, and come now 2:38, 2:45. Right. Ipna, Sanuli, are you okay? Shall we start?
Okay, sir.
Ipna?
Okay, sir.
Uh, right, okay. Alternative methods of calculating PED. Page number 6. Right. We're going to apply mathematics further. Right. Page number 6. Alternative methods of calculating PED. There are two alternative methods of calculating price elasticity. Write down Lamai. First one. Write down first one Lamai. Point price elasticity. Point price elasticity. Point price elasticity. Price elasticity. And second one Lamai. Arc. 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 Arc price elasticity. Same concept Lamai. This is the two methods of calculating P. I'll explain. Okay. So the arc price elasticity of demand mean arc mean in between two point mean at particular point. PD at particular point on demand curve. Arc mean between, right? Arc mean between 2 points. Now there is a main difference. I'll explain, right? Arc mean between 2 points, between two prices or between 2 points. 2 points. Point mean lamai PD at exactly 1 point. Okay, the lamai at 1 point, at certain point lamai, at certain price, certain price. Give me 1 minute lamai. Okay, Lamai, put a star mark and write down the definition. Point price elasticity of demand. Write down. As I told you, point price elasticity mean Lamai. Point PD mean yeah, at a certain point. Okay, put a star mark and write down. Write down specifically, specifically, specifically used. I'm talking about point price elasticity of demand, specifically used when the change in price, when the change in price, change in price and quantity, and quantity is very small, Lamai. So small. Or within bracket, write down, Lamai. A point position change. A point position change. It's mean, Lamai, change in price is very small. Normally, Lamai, the benchmark is less than 10%. If price has changed less than 10%, then I can use press one Lamai, point price elasticity. If the change is more than 10%, okay, the Lamai, we have to use arc price elasticity. That's a natural benchmark Lamai, standard one. Write down the equation Lamai, point price elasticity. Right now, Huda, I'll explain how to derive this equation. Now just write down the equation. PD equals, this is a point equation for point price elasticity of demand, delta QD divided by delta P into P over Q. So that this is not the totally different equation. This equation is derived from first equation, your original equation. I'll show you, right? Just write down. This is a equation for point price elasticity. Next point, write down arc price elasticity. Write down. This is used. Oh, used. It is used when calculating PED. When calculating PED, when calculating between two prices, two prices. Okay, the Laman. Two prices. Let me write down the equation. This is the equation or formula for arc price elasticity of demand. It's very simple. PD equals PE equals delta QD over delta P. Same equation, Lamai. Same press part is same part, same, similar. Into, now Lamai, we have to consider two prices. P1 plus P2 divided by Q1 plus Q. Okay, Lamai. Simple way, Lamai, we can say here we take the average between two prices, P1 plus P2. No. If change is percentage change in price is more than 10%, we have to use first equation. Percentage change in price is less than 10%, or the change is minimum, right? Very small, we have to use prestige. You get the point, Lamai? Actually, Lamai, the original equation, Lamai, here, P1 plus P2 divided by 2. Q1 plus Q2 divided by 2. But you know the 2 and 2 cancel out. Okay, the Lamai. So the original equation, Lamai, there must be the dividing part. Clear the Lamai? Because here we calculate the average. Average. How to calculate average, Lamai? First price plus second price divided by 2 to calculate average value. Okay, the Lamai. Right. Next one. Next one. Derive an equation for point price elasticity of demand. Advanced mathematics. Look at the board. Look at the board, Lamai. If you have any unclear point, please let me know. What is your original, Sanuli? What is your original equation of calculating price elasticity of demand? PD equals, yes.
Percentage change in quantity demand
Tell
divided
me,
by
Lamai.
percentage
Yeah,
divided by
percentage
percentage change in
quantity
price.
demanded, yes, divided by price. This is original equation, Lamai. Percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Now, my next question. How to calculate percentage change in quantity demand? Percentage change in quantity demand equals change in quantity demand. Take the change, absolute change. Q change in QD divided by no. Change in QD divided by original quantity demand, right? Into 100. This is a way of calculating percentage change in quantity demand now. How to calculate percentage change in price? How to calculate percentage change in price? Percentage change in price equals take the difference between two prices. This means delta price P divided by original price into 100. Original equation, percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price, Ramai. Now I have shown you percentage change in quantity demand equals this part. Percentage change in price equals this part. Now I can substitute these two equations instead of percentage change in quantity demand and percentage change in price. Get the word, Lama? Percentage change in quantity demand equals this part, Lama. I'm going to substitute. How to substitute, Lama? Delta QD over QD into, tell me, Lama, 100 divided by, the next one is the percentage change in price. I'm going to substitute this part instead of percentage change in price. If now you clear, Kanuli?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Then Lamai, delta P over P 200 Lamai. Any doubt after? Right. Now Lamai, mathematics, right? It's not economics, mathematics. Then Lamai, 100. Then Lamai, next step. Next step is Lamai. Percentage change in quantity, change in quantity demand divided by quantity demand, division sign, delta P over P. How to simplify this equation, Lama? All over mathematics. Make your mathematics teacher proud, Lama. O-level mathematics teacher. Okay, the Lama. If not, what should I do? How to simplify this equation further? Huh? Delta QD divided by QD to reciprocal of this neda lamai. It means P over no, delta P. You get the point? This is the equation lamai. Clear lamai? Then lamai. Actually, this is the original, the final equation. But lamai, this is very unfamiliar, right? Read it. Read it out. Delta QD divided by QD into P over delta. This is very, unfamiliar. And also it's difficult to remember. So we can make a small change without changing your answer, right? We can change this equation a bit. Delta QD over, delta QD over, take this delta P part to this side, lamai. Delta P over P QD of මෙහෙට තල්ලු කරන්න ළමයි. Remember ළමයි, we can make this change without changing your answer. Did you get the point? Though you use this equation or this equation, answer is same. Do you get the point, lamai? This is the equation for calculating point price elasticity of demand. This is not the separate equation, lamai. From where did I start this equation, lamai? Using original one. Original one. Percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. Actually, lamai, this equation is the more advanced one. You get the point? Advanced. Any doubt? No. Can you write this down, lamai? This is the derived part. ළමයි මේක ඔයාලට ක්ලියර්ද බලන්න මෙන්න මේ පාර්ට් එක. බය වෙන්න එපා. මේකේ මේ ලොකු දෙයක් නැහැ. මේ බලන්න. මේ බලනවා 8 divided by 4 into අපි කියමු ළමයි 6 divided by clear ළමයි. Here how much the value? Answer 48. 48 divided by 8 means 6, right? Answer is 6. Okay, if I make a small change like this, 8 over, take 2 here, into 6 divided by 4 lamai. You will get the same answer. No change. Clear lamai. So this is the original one. I have made small change, right? By changing this delta P and okay. So here lamai, no any harm to original answer. You get the point. So remember this equation for calculating point price elasticity. If not, Sanuli, clear lamai.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear, sir.
Right. Let me know once you are done.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Yes, give me 1 minute. Sanuli, yes, Puda. Puda, can you put a message because one is
Okay, sir.
are you done? Oh, Puda, can you put a
Yes, sir.
message? I think
Done, sir.
done. Okay. Done. Very good. Thank you. හරිද ළමයි? Right. එකක් ලියාගත්තද? Right. Shall we move to next example? ළමයි, first example. Example number 1. I'm going to practice more questions regarding point price elasticity of demand. Right. Okay, ළමයි. Right. Here we go. Example number 1. Read the question, ළමයි. The following table shows demand for a particular product, and you have been given 4 points: price and quantity demanded. Okay, lamai, I want you to calculate price elasticity of demand at point A. Now you can see, lamai, we are going to calculate price elasticity of demand at a particular point, at point A, at point B, at point C, not in between. You get the point? Right. Listen. Now, Lama, I'm going to calculate price elasticity of demand at point A. Right. Now, I look at the board, I'll do it. How to calculate point price elasticity of demand? PD equals delta QD over delta P into P over P. Okay, the Lamai? Right. Then Lamai, I'm calculating price elasticity of demand at point A. Use your original in the given table. I want you to calculate change in quantity demand, Lamai. How much change in quantity demand here? Change in quantity demand is 20, Lamai. Change in price. Yeah, it's okay, minus. Change in price. Change in price. How much, Lamai? 2. Here, Lamai, you can see change is same everywhere, any point between any 2 points. So, change in price is 2, change in quantity demand is 20. Now, Lamai, you can substitute. Change in price, how much, Lamai? Change in price, sorry, change in quantity demand. First one is change in quantity demand. How much the value? 20 divided by change in price 2 into I'm calculating price elasticity of demand at point A, Lamai. Substitute price and quantity demand at point A. Okay, the Lamai. Right. Now, at point A, Lamai, how much is price? 2. Price 2. Price 2 divided by quantity demand at point A, 80 Lamai. Clear the Lamai? Take the change in quantity demand, change in price into price and quantity demand. At the point, we are calculating price elasticity of demand. Can you tell me the answer? If not, 1 here, 2 cancel off. 1, 4, 0.25. 0.25. Remember, my PD value is always minus. So at this point, Lamai, price elasticity of demand is minus 0. Dipna, Sanuli, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Write it down, and I want you to calculate price elasticity of demand. Point B, C, and D. Right. Okay. Make it quick. You can see, Lamai, this equation, in this equation, first part of this equation, delta QD over delta P doesn't change. At every point, the first part of this equation remains constant. Second part changes point to point. That's why final answer change point to point, Lamai. Lamai, මෙයාව මතකද ඔයාලට delta P over delta QD? Give me 1 minute. Look at the board for a while. Lamai, Sanuli, can you remember this part? This is not new one for you.
Yes,
What is
sir.
this?
Slope
Delta
P.
QD over delta P, yes. Slope of the demand curve. P. අර වගේ equation එක මතකයි නේ ළමයි. QD equals A minus B. මෙතන B වල value එක තමයි මෙතන. Not the new one. Normally අපි decimal. Right, second one ළමයි same equation. Dipna, Sanuli, can you send me a photo after completing PD for all points? Can you send me a photo? Okay. PD equals same equation lamai. At point B means same delta QD over delta P into P over point B. How much, Sanuli? 0.96. We'll see. First part doesn't change, right? 20 divided by 2 into at point B lamai price is 4, right? Yeah, at point B price is 4, demand is price is 4, price is 4, demand is 60. How much value lamai? 1, 2, 1, 3. 0.66 minus 0. Huh? Okay, the lamai. Why you're sending answers me? Right, right. It's difficult to send me photo. Right. Point D. If not, PD equals same equation delta QD over delta P into P over QD. So press part lamai doesn't change. 20 over 2 into point C lamai, point C 6 over 40. How much the value lamai? 1.5 minus 1. If now you getting same answers or different answers?
Same answer.
Same answers. Right. Last one lamai. PD equals delta QD over delta P into P over QD. Delta QD 20 over 2. That part doesn't change lamai. Now price is 8 over 20. Over. Minus. Then you can see. Now next task is draw the demand curve lamai. You need to draw a demand curve here. There's a separate box. Draw the demand curve on a scale. Now I draw the demand curve here. Price QD. Draw a demand curve and here price changes 2 by 2 lamai. 2, 4, 6 and 8. Quantity demand 20, 40 and 80. Lamai at price 2 demand is 80. Lamai I want you to show PD value at this point, right? At point A, PD value how much lamai? PD value is how much? 0.25. 0.25. At point B, 0.66. At point B lamai, PD value is 0.66. At point C, 1.5. This is point C. PD value is 1 point. But I need to see, but I need to show you at your demand curve lamai. On your demand curve, point to point, PD value changes. You get the point? Point to point, PD value change. Here 0.25, 0.6 and 1 point. You get the point, Lama? Right? Okay, then, Lama. Right. Anuli, any question, Lama? Dipna?
No, sir.
No. Dipna?
No, sir.
No, good. Remember, Lama, the point is, Lama, point to point. Okay? At every When you move from one point to another point on the demand curve, TD value changes one point to another. If you have calculated, if you have completed this workings Lama, you can do 2006 page number 8 MCQ part. Sanuli Dipna, if you are done,
Yes.
yeah, if you have completed this graph and calculation, point price elasticity of demand, Uday, you can do this 2016 A level paper question. Okay. Try to think as smart as possible. 2016 MCQ. Question number 9. Let's do it, Lama. Uday, do it. It's our homework. Go to 2016. Take 5 minutes, Lama. I'll give you 5 minutes to complete this question. And send me a photo, Lama. Then I can, Sanuli and Dipna, you send a photo, me, I can let you know. Takes the job. Lama, summarize the question. Summarize the information given. This is the practical application, Lama. Right? The way of applying theory. Sanuli, are you done? Do we need more time? Dipna?
Doing, sir.
Can't hear you, son. I think it's a call from my side. Are doing. Okay, good. Try to do it without my help, Lama. If you're given a question like this, Lamai, please try to summarize the question. Okay, the Lamai. The detailed one. It's better to summarize the question like this. Prepare a small table. Price, price, quantity demand, and now PED given. Price elasticity of demand given lamai. Right? Price elasticity of demand for ballpoint pen is -3. Now PED value at particular point is given minus, right? You have been given the calculated PED value. The price of a ballpoint pen is 25, but now this is 10 years back. 25. How many quantity demand is 300 pens. 300 pens are being demanded at price 25. Now what is the question, Lamai? How much will be the demand? How much will be demanded when the price falls to 20 rupees? If market price of these pens falls to 20 rupees, Lamai, how many units? So use your second equation, point price elasticity of demand equation. Point price elasticity of demand equation. What is the equation? PD equals PD equals delta QD over delta P into oh, QD. Okay, the Lamai. Now PED value is given Lamai. How much? -3. Substitute -3 instead of PED value. Okay, the Lamai. Now can you calculate delta P? Yeah, you can calculate delta P. How much delta P, Lamai? 5. Delta P equals 5 -5. Can you calculate delta QD, Lamai? Dipna, can you calculate delta QD?
No, sir.
No, why? We don't know the new value. So delta QD is unknown now. Delta QD we don't know. Now you can substitute values now. Delta QD we don't know, Lamai. Delta QD divided by delta P -5 into this is the price and quantity demand. Price and quantity demand at this given point, Lamai. So you can substitute price 25 and quantity demand 300 units. Okay, the Lamai. Now 112 minus 3 equals delta QD over -60. Lama, you can use any method, okay? Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, Lama, delta QD equals, be careful, cross multiplier, -3 into -60. Yes. Delta QD should be, Lama, plus 180. Okay, the Lama. But this is not the answer. But remember in your, yeah, look at the board, Lama. You have been given 5 answers. 180 there. Okay, the Lamai. So be careful. 180 is not the answer. They ask the new quantity demanded. New quantity demanded should be Dipna, how many units, Lamai? Here change is 480. Here Lamai, delta QD is 180. It means quantity demand increases by 180 when price falls by 5 rupee. So here Lamai, new quantity demand should be 480. Any doubt, Lamai? Answer is Kanuli, Dipna. Are you okay, Lamai?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Kanuli?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Answer is fourth one. Answer is clear, Lamai. Could I do these questions as homework? Test your knowledge questions. Huh? Okay, Lamai. Test your knowledge. How many questions? There are three, right? Three or four. Do these three questions as homework. First one, second one. Okay, Lamai. Wait, 1 minute. Right. Huh? Right. Right. Today, Lamai, our lesson, the topic is elasticity. What is mean by elasticity? What does it measure? It measures something. But it's the universal definition for elasticity, Lamai. Let me summarize the lesson. Like 2 minutes. What is mean by elasticity, Lamai? Elasticity measures the responsiveness of dependent variable to change independent variable. Yeah, these two variable must be functional related. Functional related mean, Lamai, there must be a relationship between the variables, yes, which are taken into account. Okay, the Lamai. And this is a general equation. And Lamai, then we discuss price elasticity of demand, Lamai. Price elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of quantity demand to change price of the product. This is the original equation for calculating price elasticity of demand. And remember, PD value is always minus. And Lamai, there are two methods of calculating PED: point price elasticity of demand and arc price elasticity of demand. I have given you an equation for calculating point price elasticity of demand. Remember that it is not the new equation, Lama. It's not the second equation, right? This equation can be derived from your original equation, Lama, and then they have calculated some elasticities for given 4 points now. Okay, and remember, Lamai, this is 2006 A-level paper question. The way of asking question. Okay, it's a way of asking question. Right, and complete these three questions. Okay, Lamai. Right. Okay. Bye. See you next day. Kanuli, Vidna.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.